Hey everybody, my name's Emily, and I'm a full-time artist living in Denver, Colorado. Today I'll show you some color mixing using watercolor gouache, and I'll be using a non-standard triad of colors. Your conventional color wheel typically has yellow, magenta, and cyan, but instead today I'll be switching up the colors a little bit. Today I'll be using Primary Yellow by Winsor Newton, as well as Edo Violet from Holbein's Artist Gouache, as well as Brilliant Orange by Holbein. And you'll see some Zinc White at the top of the screen as well. That will help us lighten up our values later and have more options on our color wheel to pick from when we go to do our official painting. I use a pretty strong mix of colors to start off the wheel here. That way I can see what my boldest, most prominent colors and tones can be. So here I start mixing some of the yellow with the Brilliant Orange. Now that orange is really pigmented and strong. So it really overpowers the yellow if you use too much of it. So here I'm just adding a dab of the orange to the yellow to try to get that lighter mix. Now with a clean brush, I can start mixing the orange with the Edo Violet. The first mix you get is a nice red, but as soon as you start adding more of the violet, it turns brown pretty quickly. This would be a great palette for somebody that really needs a lot of warm, brown, bluish, dark green tones. The violet really makes for a nice deep anchor. Because orange and purple naturally on the color wheel are pretty far away from each other, they kind of neutralize each other out, and that's what really makes these more brown tones. Now for our final mix, we're going to combine the yellow with the Edo Violet. Again, the yellow is not as strong in tone or hue as that violet. So we're only going to use a dab of the violet with a lot of the yellow. And this is where our green tones come into play. I'm able to achieve a lighter green with just a light mix of the purple with the yellow. But as soon as I overpower the mix with purple, it turns into a darker tone. Finally, this is where the Zinc White comes into play. I can add it back to each of my previous mixes on the exterior of the wheel, and then I mix the white and add it to the inside. That way I can see my options for values in a painting or a color study. Here you'll see that I combined all three of the colors, the orange, the yellow, and the violet, to make my darkest tone. A lot of times you'll see artists putting that darkest tone and their lightest tone in the middle of their color wheel, so that way they have reference for the eye. My lightest tone is typically, in this case it'd be yellow with a little bit of Zinc White, but I forgot to film that part, so sorry about that. Subscribe for more.